Hello, Libra. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. All right, let's get started with your reading. Also, want to say happy birthday to all the Libras out there. All right, messages for Libra. This is the Sacred Woundings Archetypes. You have the wound of the survival mask. Persona built to stay alive. This wound arises when you shape yourself around safety rather than truth. You become who you need to be to avoid harm, rejection, or chaos. It can leave you feeling distant from your authentic self, unsure where the mask ends and you begin. And on the bottom is the wound of the inner prosecutor, judging yourself before anyone else can. This wound forms when self criticism becomes a shield against external harm. You anticipate judgment by turning it inward first, hoping it will hurt less if you deliver the blow. It can leave you feeling trapped in harsh inner dialogue, unable to access self compassion or rest in your own enoughness. So this is like it's seeming like someone is it's almost like someone instead of it's like fear of rocking the boat. So like instead of blaming someone else, okay, it's my fault. It's like protection, trying to protect yourself by saying it's me that's causing the problems, stuff like that. So let's get the Island Time Wellness. We're going to get three of these. You have wicked, mischievous, naughty, harmful, dangerous, false portrayal, lie, cheat, beware. The butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, and growth. So this could be about healing those wounds because it does feel like this is something that someone has created through childhood wounds. And on the bottom, not on the bottom, teasing, flirtatious, having a crush, playing, having fun, keep it airy, enjoying each other, and joking around. This feels like an energy of someone who, as a child, may have been around a parents who fought a lot. So this is like, in order to make things all right, okay, this is my fault. Going within, keeping those emotions in. And on the bottom is glam it up, bring your A game, hitting the town, make an effort, edgy venue, the finishing touches, and stylish. So this teasing feels to me like trying to do whatever it takes to um, take out the conflict or take out the aggression, like trying to doing what it takes to make everything better. But this feels to me more like this has stemmed from like childhood, like as a child someone felt as though they need to try to make the environment calm or do whatever it takes to calm the environment. And that is not a child's responsibility. So, all right, let's get the untold truths. We're going to get three of these for more context. Messages for Libra, which that's very much a Libra's energy as well, is balancing the scales. So always wanting to keep things even keeled. Removing the threat. That's what I just heard. Needing to do what's necessary to um, de-escalate the threat. So we have clashing differences, incompatibility, conflict, purifying, purge, healing, clean energy. So what it seems to me the oracles are saying is someone is needing to heal from these wounds. And vows, commitment, promises, fidelity. On the bottom is confessions, unexpected message, unveiling, justification. So what's happened here is due to these inner child wounds, someone has brought this into their adult life. Um, doing what it takes to remove any threats or remove any conflict or calm the environment. All right, so let's get started with the heart for the tarot. Tell me about the heart for Libra. You have the Page of Coin, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the Knight of Swords in reverse, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, showing here like something is inauthentic, and what I feel like is inauthentic is the way someone is being in this situation. It's like taking the brunt of whatever's going on here, even though it's not yours to take, is the feeling. And this is all in order to make things better somehow. So it feels to me what is happening here is someone is presently in a volatile relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be abusive per se, but there could be like a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments, and instead of someone saying, "Yeah, you should take accountability for this because you're wrong," um, they're saying, "No, it's my fault. Everything is my fault. Whatever it is, it's just my fault." In order to balance out the situation where the conflict is removed, it's saying someone has to heal from that or work on healing in regards to that. Um, let me get some more. Page of Coin, Knight of Swords in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Swords. Yeah. The Hanged Man in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. Yeah. This is just someone who doesn't want there to be any conflict. Wanting things to stay neutral at all costs. Um, and I feel like what this is saying is things do not doing that may it's more about the environment. It's saying doing this may level out the environment, but it doesn't fix things and it doesn't resolve anything in regards to conflict or things like that. It just allows the situation to continue. And it's just saying that by doing this, it isn't healthy. It's not healthy to be doing this. Tell me about the heart for Libra. Idea, that's a realization, mask, and compromise. Yep. Yeah. So this is just really talking a lot about how someone handles arguments, and it says there's needing to be a realization here that someone is wearing a mask in regards to how arguments are handled. There's not any compromise. It's instantly whatever is going on is my fault. And it's in order to calm someone else down. There's no what's the word? There's no working it out. There's no commentary about the situation. It's just, I will take the brunt of whatever this is in order for it to end. And it's saying that's not sustainable in relationships. Um, it's also not good for the one who's doing it, because it's just putting all this weight on your shoulders, and that weight gets heavy. And you don't shouldn't have to do that. So tell me about the challenge for Libra. Tell me about the challenge for Libra. Temperance in reverse. Sagittarius energy. The King of Swords in reverse. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the Six of Coin. Okay, this is saying that the challenge here is someone is trying to create balance. It's like it's a illusion of balance is what it is. Um saying someone's trying to balance things out where really they're not balanced out. Um it's the feeling of like when someone, twist your arm behind your back and they're telling you to say uncle, and someone just says uncle to get someone to stop. Um it doesn't change the fact that this person twisted your arm behind your back in order to get you to say it. Someone's just saying it in order for someone to stop. Temperance in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, Six of Coin. It's once again, nothing gets resolved by having this kind of behavior. Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, that's what this is saying. Is saying there is the appearance of balance, but what's being blocked here is the imbalance. It's like not dealing with the issue is the problem here. What happens here is this only stacks up more and more. The problems, the issues only keep stacking up. It's saying this isn't good for the one who does it, and it's not good for the relationships that you're in. There needs to be communication. Someone needs to tell the other person how they feel, truly feel, about whatever is being argued about. There needs to be, and I don't mean yelling and screaming, there needs to be a conversation. Um, it feels to me like someone here needs to learn how to stand up for themselves as opposed to just taking all the blows that's being dealt to them and saying, yeah, I'll take those as long as you want to throw them at me. I don't mean literal blows. I mean all the fault. Tell me about the challenge for Libra. Coach, promise, and vow. See, coach, obedience, promise, responsible, confirmation, and wish, hope. Yeah. So see, once again, this is something stemming from childhood, needing to be obedient. Yes, whatever is going on here, it's my fault. I'll take the heat for whatever this is. Um, it's almost, and this, I'm telling you, this is someone may not realize how much they do this, but it's saying this is something that needs to be healed. Um, this is someone who thinks this is what the other person wants me to do. This is absolutely done from a bad childhood. Someone being in a very toxic childhood, or uh, in a childhood where they feared to go against, or even have an opinion as a child. Every time I do these sacred woundings oracles, the readings are always really deep. So let's go to Libra's energy. If it sounds flip, just flip it. Take out resonates if it resonates. Tell me about Libra's energy. And this is also going to be so specific that it may only resonate for one or two people. 7 of Wands, 8 of Swords in reverse, and the High Priestess. Okay. So it's saying it's not that someone isn't aware that things are not their fault, or maybe they shouldn't take the hits for whatever's being dealt out here. It's indicating like, yes, I'm very aware of that, um, but someone gets too much in their head. It's trying to avoid conflict in order to avoid overthinking. Um it's almost like not having the energy to fight, or it's submission is what it is. It's, I'm not going to fight with you, so therefore I'm just going to lay down and immediately submit. 7 of Wands, 8 of Swords in reverse, the High Priestess, 10 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's like, this is really sad. It's sad that someone feels as though they have to feel this way. It's like, I'm not going to win anyway. I can't express how I feel anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and submit. So someone quits before it even begins because they feel like they have no other choice. This feels to me like a situation someone needs to talk to someone, because this is deep. It goes very deep. And I feel like someone here needs help in working on healing this type of energy. Tell me about Libra's energy. Blind, commitment, and daydream. Yeah. It's like someone feels like they don't have a voice in their relationship. It's saying that's an illusion. See, this is a world that someone has created for themselves, but it's stemming from childhood, how someone was raised. They were raised to fear having an opinion or standing up for themselves. So, and that has transferred into adult life. Let's see the other person's energy. Tell me about the other person's energy for Libra. Six of Swords, 6 of Cups in reverse, and the 7 of Coin. The other person's energy looks to me to be like the parent. That's what this looks like. The parent here in looking back, or doesn't look back at the past, has moved on. This feels to me like being dismissive of someone else. So, say the person who's feeling this way brings up these things to their parent. I never did those things to you. I'm not the reason why you're like that. And this would be par for the course for how someone here is being treated. Tell me about the Six of Swords, the Six of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Coin, Temperance in reverse. Moving on from an imbalance. This is being dismissive. This is, I am ignoring whatever imbalances there may be. That's in the past. Let's move on from that. Let's just pretend like that never happened. That's what this energy is giving. You have King of Pentacles here. So you could have been dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is also husband, father energy. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That's mother, wife, mother energy. It's interesting that the King of Pentacles is upright and the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. It seems like the mother figure could be the one who is being dismissive. There could have been an absent father in the situation, or let me get one more for that King of Pentacles. Tell me about the King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups in reverse. To me, this feels like something to do with like a absent parent, or maybe they were in the household but wasn't very present as a parent figure. This feels like someone who makes a lot of excuses for either, yeah, they make excuses. If they do say anything about the situation, they make excuses for why things were the way they were, or this person just absolutely dismisses any type of feelings that the other has, or any questions. If there's any questioning things about the past, it's like either it didn't happen, or why are we talking about the past? And that's why in this situation there's not going to be healing when it comes to the parents. The healing needs to be done on your own. The past, as bad as it may have been, the past has to be let go of, or the feelings of resentment, because you're not going to get what you want from the parent figures, because they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it. Specifically in this situation, they're not going to take accountability here. So the only thing that can be done is to work on healing for yourself. Messages for the other person's energy: strategy, self-love, oh my goodness, and fate. This does say self-love, but this is talking about this person's energy. A strategy, this is like protection, protecting myself. That's just how it was. That's how things what there. I keep hearing excuses. I feel like this person makes a lot of excuses, no apologies, no accountability. So I feel like something has been brought up here at some point. But the thing about it is if you're looking for something, if you're looking for some sort of closure or some sort of healing in this other person or through this other person, that's not going to happen, because to them, they didn't do anything. And if they did do anything, there was a reason why they done it. So there's not going to be anything gained from trying to work things out with this person. The way it's showing up is like they're aware of something here, but they're just not willing to admit to anything. It's a strategy. They're protecting themselves. Oh my goodness. So the what you don't see. Tell me about the what you don't see for Libra. Ten of Cups. Ten of Coin. Wow. And the Nine of Swords. Ten of Cup, Ten of Coin. So this is worried. This could be someone worried about their own family in the future. Like, I have these issues. I'm afraid that I'm going to pass these issues on. So this is about um, generational trauma, passing down generational trauma. You can put a stop to it. The best thing you can do is to put a stop to it. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Knight of Swords. Nine of Wands. An Ace of Wands. Yep. This is, in the what you don't see, it's saying you can make a change as long as you do the work. I feel like someone here is willing to do the work because they see their parents and it's like, I don't want that for my children. Tell me about the what you don't see for Libra. What you don't see is saying you can start, in regards to worries you may have, you can always start new. There's always an opportunity to start new, but you have to put the work in. Be honest with yourself. Withdrawal. Death. That's an ending. Yeah, that's what this is saying. It's saying whatever worries or concerns you have about the future or your well-being or your kids' future, it's saying you can start today. All you have to do is put the work in. Be willing to put the work in. And the healing work is never easy. It's not meant to be easy. Um, but the more you do the work, the better you feel about yourself every day. Um, Not only that, in this specific situation, working on your shadows, doing your shadow work, um, changes the future for your children. It's saying there is without a doubt a good outlook ahead if you're willing to do the work. So tell me about the advice for Libra. The Hanged Man, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Two of Coin. Feeling stuck, things being up in the air. There is a feeling of uncertainty here, like someone, which I feel like that's what's needing to be worked through. Someone feels as though they're not capable. And it feels more like in an emotional sense. Like someone is emotionally broken here due to how they were raised. Let me finish this. Or it's more like emotionally stunted. Lovers in reverse, Three of Cups, and Three of Pentacles. It keeps coming up like I'm not sure I can do this. Using logic, feeling stuck, using logic over emotion. Tell me about the advice for Libra. Homeless. Indulgence. See, that's like at 3 of Cups. This looks like cutting, worried. See, there's that 9 of Swords energy again. There's something here about cutting off this parent. I don't know if this is in the literal sense or to me this feels like some sort of work that is required, and it's either literally cutting off this person, this parent figure, or it's cutting the cords somehow, or it's speaking your truth somehow, and that could be part of the work. Like if you go to therapy, they may tell you you need to write down everything you would like to say to this person who done this to you and tell them how you feel. There's a feeling here of I don't know if I can do this or not, and it requires severing some sort of ties with this parent figure, whether that's literal or figurative. I don't know, but that's also the advice, is there needs to be some sort of ties cut here in regards to this person. And that is in order to move on and heal. No longer living in the shadow of a parent figure. Yeah. So tell me about the outcome for Libra. The World in reverse, the Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the 3 of Swords. It's once again, it's saying there's a good outcome. It is, but it's saying it's not going to really be easy, but things will get better. It's saying there's still work to do. There's work to do. The World in reverse, Page of Wands, 3 of Swords. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the work that needs to be done is showing yourself self-love, showing yourself that you have a voice and you deserve to use your voice to um, speak your mind and speak your feelings and stand your ground. Whatever those emotions are, you're allowed to do that. And that's what someone needs here, is the self-love and the healing to know I can speak what I feel without having fear of what it's going to do to the other person. I mean, there is, like being civil, but in this situation, someone is not speaking because they feel like they're almost like not allowed to speak, like speak up. The Hierophant, the World, and the 4 Cups. It keeps on indicating being committed to the work. And this is not something that is going to happen overnight, and it may take years, but as long as you work on yourself a little bit, do something, a little something every day for yourself, you'll start seeing the changes. It's indicating to me like something or someone has to be let go of. It feels necessary for there to be some sort of severing here, some sort of severing of ties. And like I said, that could be literal, literally cutting someone out from your life, or this could be figurative. Um, this could be talking about a way of being with someone else, like cutting that out, putting a stop to something here. Tell me about the outcome for Libra. overload, origin, curse. Yeah, this is talking about this parent figure once again. It's see, curse, hate, catastrophe, misfortune. Overload is like the 10 of Wands, something being too much. Um, this very well could be talking about cutting out the childhood part of this situation. There's something that needs to be left behind here, is what this is indicating. There's something that needs to be cut out and released in order for there to be movement forward. In regards to what happened in your childhood, do no longer apply that to your life in the present. And that takes work. But I feel like whoever's dealing with this, in order to have better relationships, especially better love relationships and better relationships with their children or future children, someone's willing to do this. That's why we're having this reading, is because this is someone needs to hear this. All right, so let's get the closing messages. Closing messages for Libra. You have sit in silence for a moment and listen. The answers you've been seeking are finally coming to you. Truly trust and believe that you are going to make it and be exactly where you need to be. We are on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. On the bottom is sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. That is exactly what I'm talking about with that severing of ties. That is exactly what I'm talking about. These two cards make so much sense for what I was just talking about. And the last oracle, magical mermaids and dolphins. Messages for Libra. You have wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. And on the bottom is waves of prosperity. New abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. Well, let me see what wait says. It says if you take action now, you'll miss a window of opportunity that's coming up for you shortly. Don't worry, you'll know in your heart and gut when that moment arrives. In the meantime, it's important to meditate and make sure that your breathing is deep and frequent. Often we hold our breath or experience shortened breath during stressful periods. You're also on the verge of receiving new information that will alter the course of action you plan to take, leading you in a more positive direction. By waiting, the outcome will be much more enjoyable than if you took action without this added information. Affirm, I have infinite patience and I'm divinely directed to always be in the right place at the perfect time. All right, Libra, that is what I have for you. If you enjoyed the reading or if it resonated, please hit the like button, subscribe if you like, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.